Great seeing you here again. This is a new video in the series of artificial intelligence. And in this video, I will talk about the ideal rational agent. What is a rational agent or an ideal rational agent? First of all, we have to introduce to you the rational agent view of artificial intelligence. We look at the rational agent and the brain. We look at the rational agent itself, the robotic vacuum cleaner as an example of the rational agent. We look at defining the ideal rational agent. How can we define this ideal agent? And finally, we look at percepts, optimization, and decisions. But before continuing, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, click on the bell button, and every time we have a new video, YouTube will inform you about it. Let's have a look at the first point, which is the rational agent view of AI. When we look at an agent in general terms, the agent can be human, animal, or can be a machine. All of them are possible examples of agents. Like human and animal agents, the AI agent will have sensors to see the world and effectors to make changes to the world. The idea is that the agent will have information, percepts from the world around it, and will use those percepts to react to the environment. So via the brain, via the internal processes, the AI agent will act upon the world. And it's very important when we look at an agent that the agent can view the world, can perceive the world, but also that it can make changes to the world. When we look at the agent and the brain is a very important element, and we know that for humans and for animals, the brain is a very important part of our existence. It's basically managing everything what we do. The brain steers all the parts of the body, and in the case of an AI agent, it will steer all the different elements of the agent. But it's very important to understand when a brain is isolated, when it has no means to communicate or to affect on the world, it will have no sense there. The brain is isolated and we don't know what is happening. The artificial intelligence agent will need ways to act upon the world. A brain that cannot communicate with the outside world, even when it perceives all the things that are happening around, cannot have an effect on the world. The rational agent is, in fact, an agent which should do the right thing based on the possible perceptions and the possible actions. It's about doing the right thing with the information that it obtains and use the ways, the different parts of it to act upon the world. So the effectors should be able to work on the world and take some different actions depending on what the brain decides. How do we evaluate these actions? We want to understand how these actions have a positive effect on what we want to do. We want to see, or we want to evaluate how good the system, the agent, is performing these actions. And we use what we call an objective function to do that. An objective function is basically a mathematical function which combines different parameters, and we want to optimize the result. Objective functions are, for example, used in linear programming and in different techniques. We can see, for example, in linear programming that we want to optimize, for example, a profit or optimize a cost. When we want to optimize a profit, it means that we want to find the parameters or the elements that give us the highest profit. And when we're looking at cost, we try to find the parameters which gives us the lowest cost. So an objective function will help us or will help the agent to evaluate the results, and we can find the optimal action of the agent on the environment. Simple examples, like I said, when we look at the objective functions for use in linear programming, which I already spoke about. Let's have a look at a simple application. It's a robotic vacuum cleaner. We know them already for a few years. I don't know if you have one at home. I have one, but at the moment I'm not using it. There are different possibilities, what you can find, let's say, different applications, dry cleaning, wet cleaning, all kinds of applications that provide us the optimal cleaning experience. We can also look at, for example, automated grass cutting machines, or other applications that we may find. The vacuum cleaner, the robotic vacuum cleaner, will in fact clean our house or our apartment, while we can enjoy the luxury of enjoying ourselves, watching a movie, reading a book, or doing some other tasks. The elements that we have to consider when we are looking at the vacuum cleaner is basically a very important element. We have to describe how will we evaluate the objective, the work the vacuum cleaner is doing. The first element, a very important element, is about the efficiency of cleaning the dirt. We want to see that when the vacuum cleaner has finished cleaning, that the floor is really clean. That's a very important element, and it also relates to detecting the dirt, finding the optimal path, and so on. Another element is about the noise. We don't like too much noise in the house. We look at electricity consumption, the speed of the vacuum cleaner, how long does it take to clean the house or parts of the house. We also look at the way the vacuum cleaner will understand the environment by learning. At the beginning, the vacuum cleaner doesn't know anything about the environment. It has to discover everything. And what it's doing is putting an image of the environment in its memory, so it knows where to go, what to do, and how to deal with the different obstacles. That's a very important element, and sometimes you can even have a vacuum cleaner you can in fact follow on your mobile phone or an application where you can see the layout of your house and where the vacuum cleaner is at a specific moment. Now we know this, and now we can define the ideal rational agent, and it's the only point that we have here. The definition of the ideal rational agent is an agent that for each possible percept sequences provides an action which is expected to maximize its performance measure on the basis of evidence perceived so far and built-in knowledge. The percept sequence in, for example, the vacuum cleaner is looking at, is the floor dirty? Is the floor clean? And when the floor is dirty, the vacuum cleaner has to clean the floor. If the floor is clean, the vacuum cleaner will go to another place to continue cleaning. Maximizing is about not losing too much time in a specific place, not keep cleaning the floor which is already clean, or move to places where the cleaning has already been completed. And based on this, we can look at the performance, how much dirt is the vacuum cleaner collecting, how efficient is the trip through the apartment or through the house, so it can in fact find out, are there better ways. So that's the definition of an ideal rational agent. The last element to look at are percepts, optimization, and decisions. The percept is what we or the agent observes. So what are we seeing? Are the windows clean? Is the floor clean? And this is the input to the system. This input is used to make logical decisions. Is the floor clean? Okay, go to another place. Is the floor dirty? Clean the floor. Once the floor is clean, go to another place. So these are the percepts, and we use them to make decisions. The optimization is done by using an objective function. The input, the percepts, are used to maximize the performance of the agent. Maximizing performance would be faster cleaning, collecting more dirt, using less energy, and so on. So these are different objectives that we can consider when we are evaluating the agent. When we look at actions and optimization, these are always based on the information that is available. The agent will always use the available information to make decisions. It will learn about decisions and may change its plans once it knows more about the effect of certain decisions. But any decision, like we already have spoken about before in some other videos, the decision is made with the information that is available at that moment. The other element is, what if some things are not optimal? How will the agent react? What are the other possibilities that we can deal with? So that's it, and let's have a look at an overview of the conclusions of this new lesson. We look at a rational agent, like a human or computer. Agent uses detectors to perceive the world and effectors to react on it. The main element of an agent is the brain, but the brain without the possibility of having an effect on the world is useless. A simple example of a rational agent is the robotic vacuum cleaner, which has a simple function, which is to clean the floor. And finally, the ideal rational agent receives percepts, which are used to optimize its performance by affecting the environment. So that's it for this lesson. Before leaving, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, click on the bell button, and every time we have a new video, YouTube will inform you about it. Thank you for completing this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a lot. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing you in our next lesson. Thank you, and bye-bye.